started recording here, and welcome everybody to episode 5 of Rolling Until Ragnarok's HARROW SPIRE. Welcome back. Today, we're actually brought to you by Magic Mind, which is like kind of part of my new morning routine. They are these little shots. I think I saved one of the bottles. You can see them on the screen as well, but they're about this big and they're super green looking. So you normally think that, hey, this isn't gonna taste amazing, but you know what? They actually taste really good. I was incredibly surprised because I'm not somebody who likes like the green goddess drinks or I like V8 though, which is kind of weird, but I don't like the green goddess drinks or like the green monster things. Yeah, Green Machine. There you go. But these things just taste really good, and they have a nice aftertaste to them, which is kind of the best part. But what they do is they are there to really like boost your energy, increase your focus. They really are there to take place of your coffee or your caffeine for the day. And as somebody who is a avid coffee drinker, I can tell you that I've tried these for about a week now. And although I still drink coffee from time to time because it's like that, they do really do a good job replacing that boost you get in the morning. And you don't have a crash afterwards, which is kind of the wildest part, because I can say that there's no part in the day where in my head I'm like, oh wow, I feel it wearing off. Like, it just kind of, after a while, I'm just like, oh wait, I think that I'm still working or something. Like, I don't know. Like, it really does help the tunnel visionness to it all. And maybe that's just me, but other people have said that too on their website. You can check them out on magicmind.com. Definitely go into our down below and check out the link. They're really good, and I think we have something for the mid reel as well. But there we go. I did it. Anyway. Do we need a recap of last episode, guys?
Yes.
I like that. Yes. I believe we left off with Cara grabbing trying to find as many of the animals as she could. Shallot and Peppa are huddled down against some rocks, just trying to go through their lists and keep Peppa a little bit calm. They were just everybody was just pretty bitterly turned on by Sir Haddock, and a gut and blood covered Wilbur climbed up the stacks into the pantry, and through the door was able to hear that Sir Ladle is one of the next ones in line to be dealt with in the kitchens. And we're going to kind of pick up right there. Wilbur, I think we have to kind of pick up with you, because you're the one hearing Sir Ladle kind of cause a ruckus amongst these little goblin noises in the kitchen.
Can I get the door's still closed, so they can't see me. I can tell he's distressed, but does he sound like can I listen to see if it sounds like anyone else is in the room, or is it just him that I hear?
You definitely don't even need a roll. You definitely can hear other little goblin voices, like doing the come on, this way, and then you know that in the kitchen there is at least one ogre, because he's the one that's been bellowing to bring him the live meat. Or the live food.
Looking around the kitchen, is there another entrance or exit or like a hallway or something that's adjacent to that looks like it would run adjacent or next to where
There.
that other room is?
So in the pantry that you're in, and
Hmm.
I've been calling it a pantry very specifically for a reason because it's a pantry. There are
Right.
only there's only one set of doors that lead out into the kitchen, and then there are a bunch of
Okay.
these big holes, which are the stacks that climb up into it. And you would get an idea. The stacks are really just trash chutes at this point. We don't know why Nolan calls them stacks. That's just what he's been calling them.
Okay. Is there any hole in the door? Is there? Before I just bust this door open, I want to kind of get a sense of. Okay, I know you said I could hear everybody. Can I roll something to tell if I can get a sense of where they are in the room? Is like the ogre closer to the door, or uh, is he like? Does it sound like he would be on the opposite side of the room? Like, I want to know if I bust out this door, can I potentially grab him and we just jump back down the chutes?
The ogre?
No,
Oh,
I'm saying, is the ogre
oh.
far enough away for that to happen?
I was like, Wilbur about to try and bust out this door, grab an ogre, and go backwards down some chutes. I was like, no, that's not gonna
No,
happen.
is the ogre
But
far enough away for that to happen?
um, okay, why don't you give me a survival roll on disadvantage,
Okay.
and let's talk about that disadvantage real quick while you're rolling. So you kind of go to lean up against the door, and there's this moment where you're like severely dizzy, and you kind of like shake it off a little bit. And if you remember, in the last episode, Wilbur, you rolled a con save of a 3 when you got hit by that poison arrow. And so now we'll move forward to now. As you kind of lean in, you feel a little bit dizzy, kind of shake it off. There's a little bit more water pouring out of you than normal. You're always a little soggy if anybody actually like really takes a good stern look at you. But generally you're able to keep it together. I think you'd look down and see like water running through your fingers a little bit, and then you just kind of take a breath, catch your breath. You said you rolled a 10.
Yeah.
You kind of put your head against the door, and everything's kind of echoey. It almost sounds like you're listening to things through a fish tank a little bit.
Mhm.
And then you focus. Okay. In your mind, you are across the room from wherever this ogre's going to be. But you can't really tell where anything else is. You just know that everything seems like it's over there a little bit. So whatever you are going to do, I mean, if you're going to try and peek, if you're going to try and like walk out and talk your way through this, if you are doing whatever, you got to figure that out. But you also are still kind of holding this piece of paper you had, and it's starting to get wet. But you look over and it's one of those flyers for the carnival that came through, the goblin caravan. And you kind of like look at it and discard it for a second. You already have one that you folded up and put in your pocket from before. You kind of look around and you realize that it used to be on the wall, like they had put it up there. And you look around and you realize that a lot of these boxes are marked with these flyers, like they were being held for some kind of party. But you have a moment. What are we doing?
Feeling disoriented. Uh, Wilbur's gonna try to peek out the door, see if he can do so without being noticed,
Mm-hmm.
just to get a better view of the room. And
I would say give me a flat stealth check.
okay, 14.
It's pretty good. You kind of like get the door just cracked open, there are about 4 goblins all pulling on different animals. You can see Sir Ladle is like the 3rd or 4th one in the line. You can't really make out exactly how many are behind the ogre, but you know that from where the ogre side is, there's an ox, there's what looks like some kind of like marsupial, maybe? I don't know. It looks like a small kangaroo almost. You don't know where this would have come from. And there's some kind of like half zebra, half horse looking creature. And they're just there. And then after all that, Sir Ladle. But all of the other ones look like they have been like drawn on, or they have some kind of face paint on him or something. And then there's Sir Ladle, who looks like he is a little bit worse for wear. Maybe like he fought his way up here. But the goblins have him chained down to these 2 tethers that have him against, like, kind of have his head down, so that like he's like on the ground, not on the ground, but his head's down, so he can't really do a lot of running around or mischief. And you can see as the large ogre has this giant ladle that he's kind of like pouring stuff over this giant cauldron. The cauldron's larger than he is, and every once in a while he just scoops up either one of these animals or even a goblin and just plows it into this giant cauldron and kind of laughs and keeps on going. And oh, the smell is putrid. It's just the worst.
What is holding the bonds? I know you said he's chained up, but what is he chained to, Sir Ladle? Is it something that Wilbur could potentially destroy and free him?
They're like these little like in the ground there are like these grates, and the metal hooks are into the grates. I mean, if you could hit the grate, you might be able to. This is all goblin work, you know what I mean? Like this is all ogre work. So like, while the ogres are efficient at what they make, they're not dwarves, and this is originally a dwarven place, so it's ogres kind of like using makeshift ways to fix orc stuff. And I think that as you are like kind of peeking around, the door opens slightly a bit harder, and like one of the giant like melons kind of rolls off the thing behind the door as it hits and kind of rolls out. And as you kind of duck back, 2 of the goblins kind of look at it. And let's see. I will roll for their perception. The one kind of like smacks the guy on the back and kind of goes back to trying to like figure out what they're going to do with this giant like half-painted kangaroo. But the other one is kind of like looking, and he's kind of like walking towards your door, just trying to get a sense of like what's going on. You've got a couple moments before he probably is going to turn the corner to like fully see where you are. Like turn the door corner. But he's a little bit surprised the door's cracked open at this point. And why this melon just came rolling through.
I'm just going to use a bonus action to use my hidden step and turn invisible.
Does that turn you fully invisible?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm like, as the melon hits the ground, I'm gonna instinctually just go invisible and just kind of get very still and just kind of press myself back up against the wall.
The goblin.
So even if he comes to open the door, I'm out of the way of it.
I would say the goblin is like literally like in your bubble, like half a foot away from you, just kind of looking into this room. And then he like turns. Do you speak goblin?
No.
He says something that you can't really tell what he's saying, and then the large ogre in common still just kind of bellows. And this would have been like that broken kind of like Spanglish common that we have here. But he just kind of says, "Of course we have other food set aside. That's what was for the big party. That's just the pantry. Leave it alone." And the goblin kind of looks, and I think you'd get a sense that like the goblin had no idea this pantry was there.
Mm.
And the goblin would come back and start trying to figure itself out. I'm going to leave you for just a moment to think about what you want to do as we switch it back to Cara, who is currently held up with Briar and Barry. Because,
Okay.
right?
Berries with pepper.
Oh, yeah, Barry is with Pepper. That's right. You're with Briar, and Briar has helped you find your
Thorn.
elk.
Uh-huh. Thorn.
Thorn, yes. And and here we are. What are you doing? I know you just evaded some goblins who have taken some other animals up the plank towards where the kitchens are. But what is your overall plan? You as well start to hear up this long plank, and I would say that you make out that this is also Sir Ladle.
Realistically, I can't get Ladle and Briar and Thorn out.
Right.
Without either getting caught again or ending up dead. So I'm going to figure out how to make a distraction to get these guys out.
All right.
I think the best bet is going to be to free a bunch of animals in the vicinity. Maybe not all of them, but a bunch of them.
Okay. There's a couple big doors to some of these pens. I mean, you have an idea that you could probably just knock some of these doors open. None of them are held very tightly. There's animals that are in like, they're not like bolt locked. You know what I mean? They're just, makeshift little pens that like keeping children in.
I'm going to have to come out of my kitty cat wild shape to do this. So I'm going to go around and start removing pins.
Yeah. So you start pulling pins, and this is a perfect time to go to Peppa and Shallot, because you guys are huddled over by this rock. And as you're huddled over by this rock, you just start hearing this ogre come walking down the road from where you guys came from. You guys are kind of pushed up against the rock. Peppa, you're still kind of like catching yourself while Shallot is going through and doing these little things. But then you just start hearing this ogre's voice, this bellow. More, living almost done with the king's feast. More. And he's just talking to himself. This ogre walking around this thing. He's got like a big this big chain with him, and a big old like cast iron like skillet that he's carrying with him, and he's just walking, and he's like, and you can hear him like talking to himself basically.
I guess, like, does he see us?
No, he doesn't. He like stops a little bit and looks over and looks down at all the pots, and he goes, "Deep Bellow, get rope. Deep Bellow, find more pots. Blah 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 blah. Why no one want to help, friend Deep Bellow? Crazy goblins ruining all my fun."
Aww.
Oh, okay. We're not helping him. Shut out my mind. Sad. But no, I'd probably say we want to stay hidden behind the rock.
Guess roll me some stealth checks.
All right. That is a 12 for stealth.
You know, I remembered why. You're weird playing this character.
Oh, you guys still have pass without a trace?
I rolled a 3.
I think he's like, you would just see like this giant ogre, like kind of like like he sits down and like he sits on the rock that you guys are like pushed up against, and he just is sitting there and he like puts his hand down, drops the pot like and like moves, like it like literally falls right next to where Peppa and like right where Shallot is, and he goes to like pick it up, and he's like, and like he goes to throw like a rock into like off into the distance, like down this like huge cavern, and as he goes to scoop the rock, he accidentally hits Shallot and he goes, "Oh, sorry," and then picks up one of the rocks and throws it, and then he stops and looks down and goes, "Hey, you're not the little goblins. What do you do here?"
You know, just on vacation. You know, having a good time.
And I feel like I'd be like, our friends abandoned us.
No, they're on a separate tour in the vacation. They'll be back.
He like gets this real real scribbled up face, like he looks upset, and he goes, "Oh, you with the dumb goblin thing."
The Shallot would just try to like scoot her little way up onto the rock and just sit there with her little feet dangling. And be like, "What little goblin thing? And what's wrong, guy?" And she would like pat him on the hand. "Seems like you're not having a good day."
Okay. Give me a charisma check on advantage. And I'm going to give you this advantage because Magic Mind told me that I was allowed to give you all one advantage roll for the episode. And I feel like you scooting up on this rock and patting him on the hand is just the perfect time for it.
A check or
It's just a check.
Okay,
It's not a saving throw.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Guys, that's a 17.
He just kind of looks down at you and goes, "Oh, Deep Bellow don't like the goblins. They come from somewhere with that bird man, and then everything got ruined."
At Birdman, Pepper's gonna be like right up there. Birdman, like,
oh,
we know that Birdman. That Birdman wronged us too.
He's very mean,
isn't he?
Yes.
He loves me too.
Here, my friend Pepper.
Peppa? Are you crying?
Yes, absolutely.
The ogre, his name is Deep Bellow. He would lean over and pat you on the back and say, "It's okay to cry."
It is okay to cry. And you can cry too if you need to, Deep Bellow. What happened? What did he do to you?
I don't need to cry. I need to go get all the ropes, go get more pots. And he's just mad that he has to do work.
Oh. I understand that. That must be very hard.
My job used to be to open the gate and close the gate, and I was good at that. I'm big and strong. But now, go get all the pots, go get all the ropes. I don't like walking up and down here. It's warm in here.
It is. It is very warm. They don't have anybody else who can go get them?
No, look, I'm sweating. And he points to his brow, and all this like sweat is pouring off of him.
Charlotte would pull out a little handkerchief from her bag and be like, there, it's okay.
Right. What does Sir Haddock have to do with any of this?
I don't know about Haddocks or Sirs. I just know the bird guy brought the goblins.
All of them? He brought all the goblins here?
It's no, a waddle is penguins. It's a troop. And he points at you.
We learned something new today.
Yeah, a collection of penguins is a waddle. They're a troop.
Group of goblins. Check.
So right about this moment, all the animals go fucking crazy as they bust out of these cages and come flying different directions. One of them goes straight, like one of these like larger steers. Think this is a bull. This is the bull that would be like by himself under a tree in the clearing sort of thing. And this bull goes straight up into the kitchen, like full speed, hitting other animals on his way up, just tearing ass straight up into this up into this kitchen. All the other animals are going different directions. Out of nowhere, there are birds somehow. Nobody knows where the birds came from. They're just flying different directions. And here comes Cara with what's the name of your animals again? Thorn and
Briar.
Who else?
Wasn't there another one?
Not that I know of.
Okay, those two. Here she comes with Thorn and Briar over to you guys. And so you're pulling up right as the ogre kind of stands up and goes, "I'm sorry, little not goblin girl. I have to what's happening? I don't know what to do." Be careful, be careful. He puts his big hand over your face so you don't get attacked by the birds.
She would pat his hand again and be like, "It's okay. That's my friend. She's with us." And she would look at Deep Bellow and be like, "Hey, you want to take a break from work to do something fun for a minute?"
Roll persuasion.
Pepper's like, "Oh my God, she didn't leave me. They're back. They're
14.
He kind of looks at you and goes, "If I take a break, I might get yelled at.
I can also yell at people."
He thinks about it, and he kind of like scratches his chin a little bit, and he looks around and goes, what is fun? What do we do?"
So we've already got one part. We got all the animals. Now we're looking for our other friend. He's a cute little furball guy. He went to the kitchens.
The kitchen? No, I don't want to go to the kitchen. And he like puts it. Every time I go to the kitchen, I get told more things to go get by goblins who talk through my leader.
Oh, is the leader in the kitchens?
Not the king, the sergeant.
Sergeant who?
But the goblins are talking through him still. I don't like that. They did the thing where they say, "Watch the watch," and now he just does whatever they say.
What does that mean?
Cara's gonna reach up and she's gonna like grab one of the mini dangly necklaces and she's gonna watch the watch.
I was like, what is that?
Like, is Cara like close to us now?
Yeah, Cara's over with you guys.
Yes, Pepper is going to bear hug you. And full out.
Like,
just, oh my God.
Oh.
I mean, like, full on 8-foot hole, just like, you know.
Oh, we hugging? And then so Deep Bellow's gonna hug you guys too.
Yes! and Pepper's gonna turn like over her shoulder and be like, "You'll stay with us too, right, Deep Bellow?"
I mean, I live here.
Yes.
You guys would know that like the ogres aren't necessary. Like what's been really weird about all of this is the ogres aren't generally like these big evil creatures. Like they're normally like mercenaries. They go to war from time to time, but generally they just keep to themselves. And a lot of them are big softies, like Deep Bellow here. They're just workhorses. Like that's what they are. So this whole thing has been very weird because you don't normally see ogres doing this type of stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, they're gonna eat a lot when they eat, but they're not giant cannibals from the mountains. Like, this is normally not like this. This guy is more how most of the ogres generally are.
So sweet.
Well, we've got a bone to pick with the goblins too, so come along.
I have to just get some of the ropes and pots. And also, I think I'm supposed to go catch all the animals and put them back. But I mean, I wasn't told to do that. I don't really know. I think the goblins will get mad, though.
Deep Bellow, do you know anything about why the goblins and everybody up there aren't eating the actual and they're just, like, eating other stuff?
I know lots of things. But
you seem very smart.
I don't think I know why things are.
Oh. Mm.
And he like looks at you like he said something super profound.
I'm gonna write that down in my notebook.
Just so you know, Pepper is still holding you, Cara. I haven't let go yet. This is
fine.
But I have to go to get the 2 pots and bring them to the kitchen if you want to come up there with me.
Will we look like we belong? Will you vouch for us? I don't want to get in trouble, and I don't want you to get in trouble.
You do not look like you belong. Speaking of the kitchen, Wilbur, who is now watched a large bull just tear ass through this kitchen, hit a bunch of stuff. All the goblins are like, what the fuck? And you're watching them like try and like corral this bull that has killed at least 2 of them. And the ogre that's behind this thing is like jolly moving back and forth, laughing his ass off, grabbing up the goblin carcasses and throwing them in this giant pot, yelling it's almost time for the feast. And every time he screams or bellows that it's almost done, more goblins start pouring in from the double doors where they were fighting Gravlocks, if you remember. And they just keep bringing more stuff, and now there's more and more trying to catch this bull from like harassing everything. But you have some time to do something if you're trying to do something a little bit stealthily.
Okay, that distracted me. Okay, while all this commotion is going on, can I try to use well, where's everyone else in conjunction to Sir Ladle since he's chained to the ground? Like, did this bull run past him and like?
Yeah, the bull runs past him, like skids almost into the cauldron, and then turns, sees a goblin, and just full on plows him into the wall. So now there's like this like big scene of all these goblins with their backs turned to you, trying to like corral this bull, and the big ogre cook, who is obviously a sergeant or something now that you've heard that, but there's this big ogre cook, and he is like the largest ogre you've ever seen, like huge, fat, like bulbous dude. Like he looks like his stomach is starting to like pull open from eating too much. And he is just grabbing things up and throwing it in there. You have no idea where his feet could be. Like his stomach is like literally like pouring over his feet.
Okay. Well, in all this commotion, especially since the bull almost hit it in the first place, I'm gonna try to knock over this pot.
Okay. How are we gonna attempt to knock over the pot?
I'm going to use. Is the cauldron like is it being suspended in the air above the fire, or is it like sitting on a rack or something?
It's got these big chains that like peel upwards around to this big thing, but it's also like definitely on this huge like circular think like a grill type of thing. And below it is just like bones and coal and fire, and you would get a sense that like one of the entire stacks is taken up by fire and bodies currently to kindle this.
Alright. Could I try to use Eldritch Blast to like break the chains or knock the leg supports out from up under it and cause it to topple to one side?
Yeah, you can try. You go to cast Eldritch Blast, and it's like it shoots, but as it gets into the vicinity of the pot, it just fizzles. Like it's almost like it turns to steam and just.
Okay. Well, then I guess let's try the direct approach. I'm going to use Terra Spike, which is different than Stone Blast because this I actually can create from up under an object.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just going to cause a spike of earth and stone from below the cauldron to like jut up at an angle and just tip the pot over to the side. Normally, if it was a creature, it would have to make a Dex 13 saving throw or to take half damage. But I'm not really trying to damage the pot. I'm just trying to displace it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's like the range of your spell?
So it's a 60-foot range,
mm-hmm.
and then yeah, it's a 60-foot range, and I make summon a spike of solid material from below the target.
What's your spell save DC?
13.
Okay. So, this large, like, earthen spike just, and you watch as, like, this very large cauldron tips and slowly begins to roll, and immediately this large ogre starts screaming and, like, throws the giant, like, mixing rod he has across the room. It sticks into the wall, like as if it was some kind of arrow. That's how hard he throws it. And he grabs the whole thing and starts to try to pull it back. You can see his like fingers start to like boil over as like the like all the fire, like his hands like sizzle into this cauldron of how hot it is. But this is just a moment of chaos where he starts screaming and no, and he's like trying to pull it back against this giant spike, trying to keep as much of this liquid in this pot as possible.
Okay, while all that's happening, like, you tell me when I need to stop doing stuff. But while that's going on, that attack would have made me visible, but I can turn invisible again. And then could I try to sneak over and free Sir Ladle while the ogre's trying to hold up the pot, the goblins are running around disoriented. Mm-hmm. Now's the time for me to try to break him out and we can make a run for it.
Okay. How are you breaking Sir Ladle out? Are you just unhooking the chains and riding him away, or?
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm unhooking the chains. Right now, we can get him out of the chains later. I just need him to be mobile. He can use the chains as a weapon if need be.
Yeah.
Sir Ladle with 2 chain whips.
Yeah.
Okay. I would need a stealth check, then an animal handling check. I'm going to give it to you all flat since you've created enough chaos here. The 2 of you.
16 on stealth.
All right.
And a 7 on animal handling.
Okay. So, you get over to Sir Ladle. You start to unhook, And Sir Ladle immediately sees these things beginning to unhook. But he's in fight or flight mode. This is like, I've been fighting this whole time. Sir Ladle is not a good boy at this moment. Like, he's ready to go. And the second one comes off, he bucks and starts to take off, and you stop him, and he doesn't like realize it's you. He kind of like smacks you to the side, but as he turns, if you want to try an acrobatics it, I'll let you try an acrobatics it to where you grab onto him and go with him.
Yeah.
All right. Throw me an acrobatics check. I need something like above a 12.
That's an 11.
I'm gonna say, you go to grab him, but Sir Ladle, nah, he just gets it, inches it out. Like you can't hold on because Sir Ladle's going.
Instead of holding on to him, can I make a second attempt to hold onto the chain and get dragged?
You just want to get dragged out this joint?
It's a faster method than anything else I got going on right now.
All right. That is specifically athletics, and the whatever you get on the athletics is going to depend on how much damage you take.
That is a 2.
All right, we're gonna roll some damage, Wilbur. But we're gonna talk about this while I start rolling. So, Wilbur, you just barely pull off. You can't get. You look over, you see the chain. You're like, God, okay, and you just grab onto this chain and face first go down this giant tumbling like metal and rocky track, and you're just getting pulled by this horse as you just hold on for dear life as it's all just pulling against you. It looks like Marv is talking to you from Sin City. But anyway, let's see. And I'm going to say you get to the bottom of this track, and you have taken 19 points of various bludgeoning and I don't know, slashing damage from getting just pulled down this long conveyor belt track. But Sir Ladle kind of stops because he sees everything else going crazy, and then looks over, and he sees Shallot, who he recognizes beyond anything, and Cara, and Sir Ladle then stops and looks down at you and then kind of like nuzzles you while you're Wilbur.
Wilbur's just gonna roll over onto his back and be like, good boy getting us out of there. And he's just gonna go limp and fall onto the ground.
You would then also hear from up top just hey, they took the horsey, like just loud. Get me more of this. It's all falling apart. No, like just anger, and as the anger comes through, you can hear the goblins like perk up, like all the goblins. You see the ones across the way, kind of like it's almost like they like hair on a joint arm, all standing at once as all the goblins begin to move in unison.
Shit.
We need to go.
Deep Bellows, grab his hand. It was great meeting you. That seems like a lot. You're more than welcome to come with us if you want. I don't know if you want to deal with that.
Pepper, who still has Cara in one arm, is now going to run over to Wilbur and grab him with the other arm. Right, he's all messed up, so he's going to also like heal him while she's just so excited to like have him back too. Just and kind of like jumping up and down. Cast heal or whatnot. Let me see. Cure wound, and that is a 9. So you get 9 health back. And at this point, it's like all the like goblins. So was it like the orc or something, right? Who's yelling?
The ogre cook is the one screaming.
Okay. And how far away is he from us at the moment?
He's pretty far away. Like, you can't see him or anything. He's up around the thing. He's from where... He's just from... Yeah, he's in the kitchen.
Cool. So, yeah, we're definitely going to turn around and, like, I'm going to run. But I want to, like, carry both of them for a minute. Just, I'm not ready to put them down.
I think Deep Bellow would, like, get his hand shook and be like, wait, where you go?
We have to leave, Deep Bellow. Like you said, we don't fit in here. We can't be here.
Where...
You can come with us.
Why? But where you go? Where are you going to leave to?
I don't know. We haven't figured that out yet, but we gotta get out of this castle first.
We're below the castle. Leave the castle is the doors. Remember, I opened the doors. That's what I do.
Can you open the doors for us to get us out?
The ones downstairs?
What's the easiest way out of here, I guess is my question. From where we are.
Maybe we should go with the safest.
Okay, come. Yes, come on. And then he goes over and picks up one of the pots that he's supposed to be picking up. And he goes, okay. And he holds the pot, and he's just gonna take the pot with him. And
do you need me to also grab a pot? I can help carry a pot.
Oh, the pot's so much bigger than you. It's okay. And he would, like, take you all down. So, like, where the one ramp went up into the kitchen, there's another ramp that goes down all the way around the back end of the castle. Like, around the side of the mountain, basically. Mm-hmm. And as he kind of walks you down there, you can see goblins on the other side, like where the other mountain range is, kind of like all scrambling and kind of moving around. He just kind of leads you all over to this. It looks like there's like some runoff of murky water. And he'd say, out here is where all the swamps and the shallows are. Which means they're at the foothill of the mountain.
Okay.
So if you think of, you guys got taken over that one long drawbridge. Mm-hmm. This is what would be all the way down at the bottom of that chasm. He's now walked you to the bottom of the chasm. And he lifts up this boulder and he starts to walk. And as he walks, you notice the boulder has a chain on it and it's pulling this giant metal door up. And as it does, some of the water kind of flows in. And he goes, you gotta go quick. I gotta put the door down or it'll flood the place.
Okay. Thank you for everything. And
yep.
Like I said, if you want to ever find us, you're our friend now. You're a part of our family.
Deep Bellow friend. He puts his hand up and waves.
Yeah.
So is he telling us to swim?
He's telling you to get out of the wall. Get out of the door.
I think we gotta walk.
Don't worry, we're running through the door.
It's about. I think the water would come to about your like. I think Cara would come to like you and Peppa's like knees, and everybody else's waist.
Well, except for Shallot's kind of tiny. Can I like grab Shallot and toss her up on the elk?
Yeah.
I want to majestically mount Senor Ladle and be like, all right, everyone, let's go.
Okay.
That works too.
There you go. You guys kind of make it through this muck a little bit. Wilbur, you start to feel a little bit dizzy again. I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Oh, Wilbur.
That is a 3. Same as last time.
Wilbur makes it to the bank of the other side of this like mucky, sort of like just muddy river. Like it's really just like the runoff from a river in this area, but it's like heavy mud, like it could suck the boots off your feet type of mud. And as he gets to the other side, I think Wilbur, if you want to describe how you pass out, by all means.
He would just start slowly dragging further and further behind the group. And at first you'd probably think it's just because he's banged up to all hell, but he'd start to stumble, and then he'd go real quiet, and eventually he would just kind of sit down and not say anything. And if y'all didn't look back, he would just kind of be sitting there and lay down in the street and lose consciousness.
Oh no, Pepper's keeping an eye on everybody.
Yeah, no. We're not leaving anyone behind at this point.
Yeah, so like he says, he kind of like sits down at the edge of the bank, takes a breath, and that's the last breath he takes consciously as he just slumps. And he starts to like, if you were like to go over, I need somebody to like make a medicine check, or yeah, I think a medicine check is probably what we're looking at here.
Cool. So yeah, Pepper's definitely gonna just like run over there. Oh my god! Panic like she does. How could I not have noticed this? Like I just hugged him. Just kind of that whole. And let's see, medicine. Boom! That is a dirty 20.
So you do the things that you're supposed to do. You go through the routine. Check his pulse. His pulse is working. It's good. It's strong even. You can feel his ears are still warm as they are going to be for Wilbur. And then you kind of like go to check his eyes. His eyes won't. There's nothing there. You go to like listen to where his chest is, and as you lean in, he coughs up a big, just a lot of blood on you. In which case, I need one of your panic checks, please.
Sure thing.
Oh no.
Was that a D20 I was rolling?
Yeah, it's a D20.
Okay.
Don't be concerned. It might not be my blood. I swallowed a lot of it climbing up into the pantry.
So what I need is a D100 from you on our wild magic table there.
Yes.
Oh, no.
That is a 56. It's like right in the middle.
Bro, that's gotta be good. I feel like maybe.
I don't know. Middles aren't good with way.
So as this all happens, your feathers all flake up on your head and they fall out. So you have a completely bald bird head now.
Oh my god.
All the feathers go and then they fall out. But the problem is you're touching Wilbur as well. So Wilbur, whatever hair you'd have on your top of your head immediately withers and falls out as well. You're not awake to know this, but this is currently the
just
situation.
like a feather handprint shaped bald spot on my head?
Yes. And it'll all grow back within 2 long rests. But this is what we're doing here.
She's clearly terrified, but I can't stop laughing at the moment.
Shallot, you would see this. Cara, you would see this. All this blood kind of pour out of his mouth. It's because he got some of it in him while he was climbing up this thing.
Shit.
And you realize that a lot of this blood isn't his, like he said. Like, a lot of this blood is also just blood he got in him while he was climbing up this disgusting trash chute.
Would I, like... I guess she probably hadn't relayed to me at this point what was wrong with him. Like, because in my mind, I was like, could I try to recognize these symptoms myself and see if I could try the whole thing I did with Paprika where I did the lay on hands, neutralize poison?
I mean, Pepper would just tell you he's been poisoned or something.
Because that's what my lay on hands does, is it neutralizes poison. So I would imagine seeing all this, Jesus Christ, all of this, I would try to do that.
Okay. So, you neutralize the poison. He kind of rolls over. And you'd realize that his body at this point is just exhausted. It's given out. You're going to have to make camp and let him just come back to normal. You don't really know how long that's going to take at this moment.
I don't want to make camp here, though.
We're tossing him on the elk and we're going.
That was my exact thoughts, Cara. I was like, we're tossing him on the horse, the elk, whatever, something, and we're gonna move a little ways away.
Where are we moving to?
Away.
Away. Are you following the river up the river or down the river? You guys came from down the river. But up the river is closer to the tree.
Oh.
Also, you have no idea where Sage or Gravlock is. You have an idea where Haddock is currently, but you know.
Shoot. I was gonna ask our buddy about that, but I forgot. I don't know, guys. What do y'all think? Do you want to head in the direction we came from, or do you want to head in the opposite?
I'm still unconscious.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Right.
I mean, the other two people
we're trying
who
to
are
complete the
conscious.
mission. Right. We're still trying to complete the mission, right? Because that was what.
Which way would get us towards the tree that we're headed to? Would I know which way that was?
Yeah. Like I was saying, if you were to follow if you go up the river, it's going to take you up the mountain range a little bit more. Like if you go against the flow of the river, it's going to take you up the mountain range a little bit more. And then you have to go from the mountain range over to the woods. So you would know to follow the mountain range to where the forest is. If you follow the river back down, you'll end up back where you all fought the manticore with the shivers. Or the chimera with the shivers, excuse me.
Okay, then yeah, I feel like Shallot would be like, okay, well, we still need to head in the direction of our mission. So that would be, I guess, up the river is where we would need to go. That's what I would think.
So roll me a nature check.
Okay.
Either one of you, whoever wants to look, like you all are kind of looking for a spot to make camp, I'm guessing, because at this point you have to rest.
Yeah.
So, if somebody that like knows, if there's anybody proficient in nature, that would be the person to roll this over that. Then one of you choose.
This is very reassuring, guys. I have -1, so I don't feel like it should be me, but it could be.
I also have a -1 though.
I have a 0.
All right, Cara, give us the nature check.
Oh, Cara, go.
It's a flat 9.
You guys get up the river a little bit, and there's just this one spot that looks like you could at least put your back to some rocks and see where the river is. And as long as you do a good job taking some shifts and maybe not make a big fire, you could probably get some rest here. But you would need somebody, but you know that somebody's gonna have to take shifts to watch. So, you might be able to huddle the animals down in around the tall grass a little bit. But this is as good a place as any. On a 9 at least.
Yeah, I would say, I would ask Cara if she could, like, see if we could get the animals huddled down in a location where they wouldn't be noticeable, because she's really good at taking care of them. And, I would have Pepper be like, hey, can you keep an eye out for Wilbur, but try to get some rest, and I'll take first watch. And everybody else try to get some sleep while Shallot watches out first.
Is there like a fallen log or some kind of boulder I can maybe get the animals to like lay down next to? Horses don't typically lay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the reason you picked this spot is because there's like crumble, like this is like you're up against like a large like there's an overlook above you, so you're kind of like not in a cave but like in a nice little like swoop of like,
so I can put them near the wall.
Yeah, you can put them near the wall and near some of that stuff, and they also have like some little outcroppings of like stuff that they could like chew on or whatever. Like it's a comfortable spot. is kind of the idea with your back to something, so you can see if anything approaches. Generally. Okay. Now comes the fun part, Shallot. Roll me a d12.
Okay.
For your night. Your watch. Or
can I have like cast guard on her?
Can you cast what?
Guard on her, since I know she's taking first watch.
Yes, you can.
What
And
does that do again?
It gives you a D6 hit points and lasts. It says till in your turn, target takes. If the target would take damage for the spell ends, the ward blocks basically the damage. It can't block psychic or poisoning, but if you need it, it's a D6.
Okay, so
Cool.
I would get a whole 1. Thank you, D6.
so you can do one of these two. You can either roll me a flat d12 and it'll be random, or you can roll me a perception check.
I like the randomness of it. So.
All right.
Okay, D12.
Yep.
Okay, that's a 10.
Okay. So you're sitting up. Talk to me about like what's going through Shallot's mind at this point.
She would probably feel like she'd let her team down. Like, she'd taken her oath, she was supposed to be doing better. Wilbur's hurt, and everything just seems to be going terribly at this point. So she would honestly probably feel a little dejected, just thinking like, okay, maybe I can at least sit up and stay watch. Maybe I can do this one thing right today.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
God bless it. Nope, I can't. Not. That is a 4.
It's one of those things where you're sitting, the world has been going past you so fast for the past a while. You're watching. You can feel yourself kind of pouring into the front of you, and you pick yourself up. It's been hours. Nothing. You don't see anything happening. And then I think that you would take a deep breath, pick yourself up, and Paprika would sit down next to you. Almost like at the firelight. And she would just look at you. She's in her full plate armor. She reaches over to you and picks her helmet up as if it was next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, and she looks at her helmet and goes, "You know something funny, I never really liked my helmet polished. I just let you polish it every day because it's something that you seem to take a lot of pride in. You were an incredible squire. You take a lot of pride in everything you do, but more so, you put more effort and work into everything you do. So much harder than anybody else I've ever met. So much harder than me. I wasn't a good squire."
What? No. You were probably the best squire.
No, I didn't listen. I never stayed put. I think I was much more like your friend Okra than I was like you as a squire. And I was also rejected from being a squire many times. If the large war didn't happen and I didn't take it upon myself, I would never have even been knighted.
You're just so amazing in everything that you do. That doesn't make sense. I felt like if I worked so hard and did all of these things, I could make you proud and make everyone else proud. I just wanted to be as awesome as you are.
She puts her helmet in your hand and you like go to hold it, and she says, I was amazing, and I was proud of you, and you are incredible. So now I'm gonna need you to go ahead and take care of the rest of what I was supposed to do. And that's why you're going to uphold our oath. It's our oath, Shallot. And then, as she says that, you wake up holding a rock. And in front of you is two eyes that are just kind of sitting there. And he pulls his head back, and it's Sage. But he's like way too close to you, like always. And he goes, you sleeping on the job again?
She would look at the rock. She would just put it down. For the first time, I will say this, I do not mind that you were extremely close to me, and she would give him a hug. And be like, I'm so glad you're here.
He'd just say, ah, and hug you. And then he'd look back and go, Gravlock, I told you I'd get to hug.
Oh, God, this is, finally things are playing in our favor. Oh, my gosh.
Playing? This was not a play.
No. Jesus, no, it's not.
Gravlox is against one of the other walls down the range a little bit, and Sage has hastily tied him to wooden boards so that he would stay put and heal. But it is kind of like Sage trying to learn to splint something when he doesn't know what he's doing at all. So it's really just Gravlax tied to a bunch of wooden boards, kind of like outwards like this. And Sage has taken his weapons away.
I feel like we can just go ahead and put Gravlax over there on the ground next to his little buddy Wilbur, and they can both take turns to rest together.
Gravlax is around and goes, no, you go wake that bird up and heal me.
Oh, yes! And she would go over and she'd be like, she would do it gently. She wouldn't be very aggressive. I'd be like, oh.
While she is waking Pepper up, Sage has gone over to Cara and is like about a half inch away from Cara's face, like he normally is in the morning, and he goes, I have more food for the animals.
And as he does this, there's this for this last like day or so, she's had this kind of spring, this green tint to her hair. This immense heat rolls off of her as the seasons change once more. Ooh. And she's like, we only have 3 of them.
Oh. I have food for those animals. Oh, and he sits down and gets kind of sad. And then he looks over at like where the animals are and he goes, I know that none of you like me, but I'm very sorry. And he like opens up one of the bags and like scoots it towards Thorn.
I'm sure Thorn likes him.
None of the animals really like him.
Man.
He's one of their natural predators, being a giant lizard.
That's true.
There.
Yeah. It's okay. I brought them that. We have to go kill Haddock. And he picks up one of the things and eats it. one of the like some of this food he made for the animals. He picks up some of it and eats it and goes, I'm gonna have to kill him. He just keeps eating.
Did Pepper hear that?
Probably.
I feel like she'd be like, no, we can't do that. Like, there's something wrong. Like, there has to be an explanation. Like, I swear he's not a bad person. Like, but he saved me during the war. And you don't understand. I'm pretty sure there's something. I mean, he's under a spell. We don't even really know. And she's going to, like, keep rambling, like, all the possible reasons that he's absolutely not a bad guy. Like, she feel like she's made a checklist in her head about all the things that could be why having strange behavior, and she feels like we should probably figure this out before we, or just no, you can't kill him. Like she can't like make that connection, you know.
I think Sage would stand up, and this is Sage being a little bit different than normal. He would stand all the way up so that he's your height. Like, he's not hunched over, he's not looking squirrely like he normally is. And he kind of walks over to you, Peppa, and he just hugs you really hard. And he just says, among firelight, he stabbed Paprika in the back. And then he turned on all of you. And if I hadn't walked into the shadows, he would have gotten me too. I was never poisoned. I watched all of it happen. It was methodical, and it was planned. And the goblins were there before he started.
I think Peppa would probably just like fall to her knees in tears, just all of it, just like ugly cry. She's like, just tears, the snot, just all of it. I mean,
he would lean down and go, but even evil has, you can learn something from him still. But the idea of ruthlessness, you should learn and apply it towards him. And he'd offer you his hand to help you up.
She would still be crying, but I think she would take it. Maybe she's slowly coming to terms with the fact that, maybe he's not a great guy that she imagined him to be.
And then he would turn to Shallot and say, you're in charge, so you make the ultimate decision here, Shallot. But if you make the decision against my wishes, I will have to ask if I can depart from your service. But there will never be bad blood between us. So, Shallot, you have this decision to make of either going back in to kill Haddock and maybe free the ogres from what's going on, or to go forward and get this route and get back in time to, as you know, save your lord's wife. Those are the two things we have. And on that note, we'll go to break. We're back. Sir Sage looks over to Shallot and, gestures that you're in charge, please. And he awaits your command.
Shallot would, she would really think about, yes, she was squire to Paprika. This was Paprika's mission that she was supposed to be on, getting to the bay tree and getting the root and doing all those things. But she also knows that Paprika would tell her, like she said when she saw her vision, that this is our oath. This is Shallot's purpose and what Shallot would want to do and what Shallot feels. And Shallot just can't leave all of these people who are prisoners in this castle. We need answers from Haddock, and especially since we met Deep Bellow, our new friend, and how much he's having such a hard time, and she's a knight of the people, and she wants to make sure everyone is allowed to be free to have their own dreams and open their own doors if they want to. So she would say that she is with Sir Sage, that we need to go back to the castle, we need to free everyone, and we need to deal with Haddock.
He smiles and goes, okay, I think you all get rest and heal up. I will be back in the morning and tell you after I have scouted the best way back in.
Okay.
He looks over at Cara and he kind of like waves a little bit.
She waves, but as she waves, she's gonna cast Pass Without a Trace on him.
Ooh.
But she's gonna cast it on everyone in the vicinity so that we're a little stealthier just naturally.
He smiles and does like the little like lizard thing where he licks his eye, and then he goes and like as he like whips to the side, it's almost like he like turns into a shadow and then like scatter steps away. And he is gone. Wilbur, it's been a good 8 hours since you went out. So I think this is about the time where you start to wake up. You would feel weak. Like the world was heavy. Like gravity was just a little bit more focused on you than everybody else than normal. But other than that, you're whole again. Like as whole as you get. And you're not poisoned anymore. It's kind of like the leftovers from a bad night.
Mm-hmm.
But as you wake up, Gravlock is looking at you real hard, tied down to a bunch of boards. And the second he sees that you're lucid, he goes, "Get me off of these damn boards."
Am I?
They aren't listening to me.
Like he would be so confused because he's like, I must still be out of it. And he's just going to kind of lay his head back down and close his eyes for another minute.
No! Gravlock is going to be like, damn it. And he's going to look around and he like is going to go back to trying to like reach like as much as he can, but he can't get, he's just resigned himself to being tied to these boards incorrectly.
Even my dream versions of Gravlax are way too rowdy.
Okay. Pepper, like having kind of heard all this, she'd suck it up, just wipe all the tears and snot, be like, I have a job to do, and she would definitely check on Wilbur, and she'd look over at Gravlock and be like, the hell? Like, look at how he's all tied down to the boards.
Yes, right. The hell? It's wrong. Please untie me.
I feel like he may have tied you down for a reason, even if it's incorrectly. I feel like she would take this opportunity to like check him, like look over his body for like broken bones or poison or anything like that before she officially untied him.
Roll a medicine check. And while you're rolling the medicine check, I believe, Cara, you were gonna say something? I'm sorry,
She has a hedgehog that is sitting on Gravlax guarding him.
Oh, okay. Hedgehog on Gravlax.
I got an 18 on the medicine check.
That means this is probably important.
Right.
Right. You got an 18 on the medicine check?
Yeah.
There's a big gash below where his the right side of his ribs would be. And it isn't poisoned, but it is an open wound that has now gotten a lot of dirt and grime into it. There's like some traces of maybe like metal in it a little bit. You can tell that it needs to be cleaned really well, and it definitely needs to be bandaged up, and you might have to like, close it.
Right.
This is something that he got on the way out. And there's something he's holding in his hand, and when you go to take it, he goes, no. When I get out of this, I will give this to Shallot myself. And he's not letting anybody get to his hand.
Okay. I guess she'll work on cleansing the wound. Hopefully, yeah. I'm like, do I have anything like the whole cleansing the wound part? Does like cure wounds like actually like cleanse and then like heal the wound, or do I have to like
I think as the cleric, you can just work on it and you'll be fine.
Okay. I needed to like.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things. You have stuff. You just kind of like go through your little bag of, I guess, stuff that you've like collected since you started coming out here. So like all the little like herbs, and you start like making little like stuff, and you do the thing.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But that would leave, like I said, Wilbur. You're waking up here, so by all means.
Hearing the continued commotion and realizing that I'm not still completely out of it, I guess, he would sit up and look around and be like, wait, Gravlock, you're actually here. How are you here? And then I'm going to look to Pepper and look at the little hedgehog sitting on Gravlock and just be like, someone please tell me what's going on.
Absolutely. Pepper's going to put her hand on his chest and push him back towards the ground. You can talk laying down.
The hedgehog will be like, and point to Cara.
Barry said lay down or he will stab you.
You ought to do what he says.
And Wilbur's just gonna lay down.
Oh, he listens to the hedgehog, right? But not to the bird.
The hedgehog implied threats of violence.
Is that how we need to do it from now on? Just threaten you every time?
You think the ball spot would be enough, but
What do you mean ball spot? What?
Oh, never mind.
What do you mean ball spot? And Wilbur's gonna touch his head and be like, what the fuck happened?
Well, considering that, I mean, Pepper like
And now I'm gonna look
like
at
where
her
her
and realize all of her hair is missing too. Like, what actually happened?
the poison it had that side effect, and as you can see it trying to heal you, it also caused the same side effect. So you're welcome.
Thank you. How did you get so much on? No, never mind.
Because you threw up on me, or you coughed up this sheer amount of blood on me.
It was a lot of blood.
It was a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't all mine.
Gravlax just laughs.
And you be quiet. You have a huge gash, and it's full of stuff.
I mean, I fought my way out of the front door with mostly just I think Paprika was using the leg off of some creature.
Sounds about right.
Cauterize it.
That's pretty badass.
That is really cool. Also, Cara, you're looking extra fabulous and bright and sunny today.
Like her hair is this muted orange color now.
So pretty.
Yes, we've all changed. It's time to let's go ahead and untie me now.
Are you going to sit still long enough for me to heal your wound if I untie you? I feel like Sage tied you for a reason.
Sage tied me because Sage doesn't know what to do with people.
That's true.
That is
I didn't know what to do with people either. At least not with me.
People are hard to understand. That's fair.
That is very true.
Gravlox is like, I'm gonna fucking fight all of you if you don't. He's like so annoyed. He's like, untie me from this.
Right. Okay. And Pepper would start to untie him.
You better sit still though for her. If you don't, we're gonna tie you back up again.
He's checking like where the ropes were tied on his arms and stuff. He's got like rope burns, and he's just like, yeah, fucking. He leans over and goes, okay. He like leans over and goes, okay, heal the wound, I guess. So I take it everybody's just gonna be up now. We're not taking second watch. We're just gonna take our long rest this way.
I guess.
I said, sounds like it. I don't know if we can go back to sleep after all of this. All right. And Pepper would be like, you know, and she like point to his hand, be like, you should probably do that. You know?
I mean, if he gets quiet and still enough for more than about 3 minutes, Wilbur is definitely going back to sleep if he's laying flat. Because he got dragged around and beat like a piñata, and he is inevitably sore and out of it. So, yes. Unless someone is keeping Wilbur awake, Wilbur is going back to sleep.
Alright, so Wilbur is asleep. Okay. I think after a little bit, Gravlox would look over while he's being worked on. And he would say, so, Cara saved Ladle.
Yeah, she did.
No?
Kara's shaking her head no.
It was a combination of teamwork. Wilbur saved Ladle, but I mean, Ladle. Oh, words. But Cara saved all the other animals.
She just ripped that thorn.
Yes. Did you get Spoodle out?
She's gonna dig through a bag.
Yeah.
And lift up the sugar glider.
He's gonna say, and he puts his hand out and Spoodle and like goes over to Gravlox. Gravlox and Spoodle are buddies. They just kind of like do their little thing together. Because Spoodle normally is the one that's like floating around in the back with everybody. So he's like, and Gravlox like rummages through his hair a little bit and pulls out like this little plastic bag of peanuts and starts handing them to him. Everybody has hidden food for these animals. And
apparently, I need to start.
And he's like, you did a good job. You did a good job. Oh, yes. Wait, and he looks over and Wilbur's asleep and he goes, and he just leans over and shakes him and goes, hey, did you kill Haddock?
No.
Pepper's gonna like
Not
suck
yet.
him like he needs to be asleep. Like, don't do this.
That's what I told you to do. I said slay Haddock.
Oh.
Yeah. Next time, speak up. There was a lot of commotion. It was not clear what you said, but I found Haddock.
What? Oh, allow me to fight all 30 goblins and speak up while holding Paprika.
Yeah, you like a challenge.
Go back to bed. And he like pushes you over.
And I'm just gonna lay back down. I was like, exactly.
Regardless of what happened, I am very proud of our team. We all did an excellent job.
Gravlock, don't you have something for Shallot?
Oh, yes. And he still has like the one hand that's like grabbing this thing. And he looks over and goes, "Here's Shallot." And he like hands Shallot. It's literally like there was always this like handkerchief that Paprika wore on her arm, and it literally is Paprika's like scarf.
Shallot would take it, and she would just kind of hold it and just look at it for a minute.
It smells like spices.
And she would just tie it around her arm, kind of like Paprika did. Just be like, "I know you're always going to be looking out for me, and I'm going to do what's best for everybody."
She told me that that you would understand why you have this. And he like shrugs a little bit.
Would I understand why I have this? Is it just because of the...
Give me a history check.
Okay.
Pepper's move, she's like wiping tears from her eyes. Like, this is
such a beautiful moment that I'm about to ruin this roll.
She's gonna be like, "You did great, Gravlock."
That's a 12.
You know, of all the pieces of gear and all the things that you've even like re-embroidered her like shirts, you've like fixed a lot of her pants from time, like her leather pants, like you've done her boots before, like you keep her stuff together, but she's never let you ever have this piece of her gear. And there are many times you've remarked to her, "You know, you should have a shield." That's the only thing that you and her ever really disagree on heavily.
Oh.
Because you are a sword and board fighter, whereas she was, "I have 2 swords, and that's all I need." And she would always just kind of like touch her wrist where that little bandana it was, and she would say, No, I have a shield. It's okay." And that's the best that
I can remember.
You can remember about it.
I feel like this had some kind of significance to her, but she never, as far as I can remember, she never let me know why, but I'm gonna hold on to it and give it some kind of purpose now, for me.
So, what's your next course of action?
Oh. Was Sir Sage going to scout out the castle?
Yep.
Has he come back yet?
Roll perception check.
Nope, he hasn't come back yet. That's an 8.
On an 8, he is sitting next to you at the fire, and he goes, and he's the one who asked you, "What's your next course of action?" He's just, huh? I've been here since the hair loss thing.
You are very quiet. Good for you.
I'm sneaky.
It's what we need on this important quest.
It doesn't look like really anybody's guarding any of these gates.
Oh.
I feel like the problem is going to be getting back out once you go in.
Okay. What would most likely look like our best escape route once we're in?
I don't know. I know that Paprika's body's over by the front door, though.
Cara's gonna throw an acorn at him.
Oh. At me?
Yeah!
Oh, hi. Oh, shh. He does a shush to Shallot.
Shallot would just be quiet then. She would just sit there.
After a couple minutes of quiet, Sage would look over at Cara and say, I think we have to talk.
You're the one I told to shush.
Oh! He nods to you and looks over at the animals, just kind of like zones out.
So I guess Shallot would kind of try like to pull her team together and be like, okay guys, I don't know how all of y'all feel about going back into this castle. Whether y'all are okay with this or not. I want this to be a team effort. That's really what I want this to be. I want everyone to feel like they're included and everyone feel like they're heard. So as far as we can tell, it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of guards around the exterior. I feel like, I guess my thoughts are the best purpose would be to get in and see if we could deal with Haddock, maybe get some answers. I feel like Pepper would probably want those as well. And we need to figure out who else is still in there and just free them. I don't feel like letting this happen. We just can't let this happen.
Whatever plan ends with us beating Haddock to a pulp is the plan I'm down for.
I think we still need to at least talk with him a little bit. Like,
he's made it very clear.
We don't know why.
Right.
I mean,
does there need to be a why?
Yes. There has to be a reason.
He said his why. The predators, the birds of prey, he thinks he's better than everybody else.
There's more. I mean, I'm a bird of prey. It doesn't mean...
And he tried to recruit you.
But it just doesn't explain why any of this is happening. And then there's that weird flyer that I've seen about this traveling circus too. I don't know if any of y'all saw that. But it just... There's got to be more to... I'm with Pepper. There's got to be more to it than this. Something weird is going on. And we can't just leave it alone.
Maybe the weird circus thingy took him too. Can't we just talk to him first?
I just worry that he's not going to want to do a whole lot of talking, but I guess we could try. But I think we all need to brace ourselves in case that he doesn't want to do.
I feel like we're braced. And she's going to gesture at her and Wilbur. I feel like we're braced.
Well, Pepper and I need to brace then.
He makes one wrong move and I'm going to drown him.
Okay.
As Sir Gravlock laughs a little bit at that, Pepper, you would realize that he is not in any way, shape, or form able or up to going back into that castle. Like, Sir Gravlax has taken enough wounds and enough damage to himself that if he doesn't rest for an extended period of time, he's not going to make it. This is a situation where if he tried to put his armor back on, it would probably break one of his bones.
Jesus.
Okay, do we have an extended period of time?
You all don't know. You would need to tell Gravlax that he needs to stay here. He needs to stay put.
Right.
I feel like that's gonna come best.
Wilbur would walk up to him, look him dead in the eye, and say, "You're staying put." And if Gravlax looked like he was going to stand up or something, where is it at?
Water spout. No, I'm just playing.
Actually, yeah, no, that's exactly what Wilbur's gonna do. If he gets up, he's gonna spray him like he's gonna pull out his wand and he's just gonna give him a spritz, like you spray a cat or a dog when you want him to stop. He's gonna be like, "Sit down." And every time Gravlax tries to get up, Wilbur's gonna spray him.
You're not going without me. I'm the only one who's got. I got in and out. I almost got. If Paprika wasn't poisoned, she would have gotten out with me.
I know
that may be true, but that's not what happened. And now you're hurt, and so now you're not coming with us.
You need bread.
And I'm gonna spray him again.
What am I supposed to do? Just stay here and wait?
Watch the
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what you make everybody else do when you run off.
We need somebody to watch all the animals.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Who, me?
I don't care. One of you two.
Okay. I got a nat 20.
He thinks it over. He goes to stand up to try and fight back, and he realizes that as he does it, his rib moves, and as his rib moves, he can feel it throughout his whole body. And there's this intense realization of him as the adrenaline begins to wear off, as the night sets in, as all the pain really focuses in on him. And he says, "Protect the animals, huh?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And he looks over and goes, "Come on, Ladle. You and I are about to become buddies with Spoodle." And he looks at Spoodle and he goes, "You're going to help me protect the animals, right?" And Spoodle just runs around his hand.
Cute.
He kind of gathers the animals up into the side and pats them down a little bit. And he gets a nice spot that's cozy for him. And he just sits there and goes, "All right, I'll wait here, I guess. And I'll make sure that all these guys stay safe."
Okay. So he's going to stay here. He's going to help take care of the animals. She would look at everyone else.
From Cara's shoulder, Briar holds up a little one of his hedgehog spikes, and he's like he's ready to go.
She's gonna fed him with Gravlax.
He just looks at you, and he's like,
You have to make sure Gravlax doesn't do anything stupid.
He looks up at Gravlax and holds his little spine to him. And Gravlax just kind of looks at him like, "You're the one that was sitting on my chest earlier, huh?"
That's so cute.
We're off.
I feel like he could take him at this point.
Probably.
People underestimate hedgehogs, but they could take down some pretty big things.
Yes.
You could take him down.
Hedgehogs are mischievous. Okay. Leaving in the middle of the
Anyone
night.
that killed a bear.
Yeah. I've heard of that. I've heard that tale too. Quite a couple times. No, okay. So Sage kind of looks at you all and goes, "We go through the front door then?"
There's a small part of Shallot that just doesn't want to leave Paprika's body there, but I guess she knows that's not realistic.
You push it into the water.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Charlotte would just kind of look to everybody. And again, like, she would just... She's not used to leading, so she's not really sure. Like, she doesn't want to tell people what to do because she feels like someone's not going to like her plan. So she's like, all right, guys, I guess we're going in through the front. Does that seem okay with everyone? There's not many guards from what Sage said, so we should be able to get in pretty easily based on his reconnaissance. I guess we look for Haddock.
Yeah, and we're gonna beat them down.
Yes, not many guards. Y'all are like walking now towards where like the thing is. He goes, just the 2 yetis.
Pause.
Cara just
You say pause, and he keeps walking. He stops
Pause?
walking, and he turns and like looks back and goes, "No, come on, they're over there. We don't have to stop here."
So, how are we going to get past them unseen if there's 2 giant yetis?
Oh, I don't know. I always just walk past them.
Well, not all of us are as stealthy as you, sir.
He thinks about it. Maybe we should go back in the window way.
Was there anything in the window way when you looked at it? Any ogres or goblins or anything there?
No, that's how I was watching you all in the prison.
But we also involves us climbing around through the walls and the ceiling, and is everyone quite dexterous enough for that?
Better than being seen by 2 giant yetis.
Have we? Wasn't we see what the yetis are? Are they keeping watch, or are they just there?
He shows you. There are just 2 large yetis sitting in front of the front door, and he like walks over and like points to like he's like standing next to the yeti, pointing to it.
Okay.
So how big is this thing altogether? Like, if he's that close to it?
They're both like 7 feet tall.
They just can't see it?
They don't see him.
Charlotte will take a couple steps forward and just like try to test it out.
If you get to the edge of where the bridge would be, like if you had to cross the whole bridge, and again, Sage is like far up ahead of you, like football field ahead of you guys, look, standing next to this yeti. The second you get to the bridge, one of the yetis stands up, like is getting ready to things are coming. He like knocks over, and as he does that, Sage kind of like moves backwards, and the hand goes in front of him and hits the other yeti. And Sage is like walking in this thing's blind spot, like next to his leg the whole time. As the yetis like shuffle about and get ready to like see where you guys are, Sage is just like walking, and he's like, see, and he's like going like this to come on.
Oh my god. No.
Well, you took a few steps out there, leader. Now what?
Not going that way.
So have they seen us or no?
The one kind of sees something in the distance, like again, where it would enter, like where you all start walking on the drawbridge, but and the other one is looking at him like, what the hell? And Sage is just walking in these things like blind spot of their legs, and he's like looking at you all and saying like, come on, come on, come on.
I mean,
no, I personally am like, I don't want to go that way. We can try the other way.
we don't really have time.
Is it like a drawbridge, or is there like is it like one of those bridges that has the stone
It's a drawbridge.
Okay.
It's a large metal drawbridge that folds up in half as it comes up.
Like Trevor's like pointing, like there are clearly 2 yetis. feel like we have time to do something else.
Yeah.
You don't know if those yetis are some of the prisoners you were talking about coming in here to save.
We could try to befriend them too, is what you're saying?
Yeah, if nothing else, we have Sage here to back us up. But you're the team leader, so I'll follow your lead.
God. I personally feel like I would rather go in a different way.
All right. Well, you got to signal Sage to come back.
That's what I was trying to do. I was like,
oh. Sage nods and he like sighs and he goes like that. So you step back, and as you kind of like step back, but then one Yeti kind of shrugs and goes back to he like tries to get back to sit back down, and as he like saunters down, Sage kind of like walks away from him and like walks behind the other Yeti who's starting to sit down, and then Sage sits down at the edge of the little like the side thing, and he just kicks himself off and like starts to scoot along the edge of the mountain side and it just walks along the edge of the mountain and like waves and tries to have you all follow him back around to where the big windows would be.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright, so yeah, we'll follow Sage back around then.
Yeah, so you follow Sage. It's a little while of a walk, and there are these two large, think like chapel windows, like built into the side of this it's almost like this big brick column building that like jets out the side of the mountain, and he points to that, and he looks over at you guys, and then he throws a rope that is like attached to like some kind of what do you call those?
Like grappling hook.
Yeah, he throws you like a grappling hook. It like barely makes it to you, and it just lands on the ground. And he's holding the other end, and he like nods.
Like he wants us to throw it up into the window and climb up that way.
No, he wants you to climb across the rope. If he secures
He wants us to anchor it to something and then climb across it.
Okay.
Is he the other side of that anchor though? Like,
no, he's like waiting for you all to say yes so he can go anchor it.
Oh, then yeah, sure.
Okay.
He's not just holding the rope.
No.
I can see him doing that though. He would be the person.
He puts the rope in his mouth and he looks over at you all and he climbs up to where the window is and shatters through it, rolls over, and then he looks back outside of it and goes like this to come on.
Okay. Well,
man, I'm not familiar with how stealth works, but I feel like that's wrong.
I don't understand how none of you notice him.
Exactly.
I was under the assumption that he was
master at stealth.
This is
Something
the shit
else.
I have to deal with.
This
Cara.
is Cara.
Cara, I am so sorry that I have not been aware of this before.
Joe had horse blinders on.
Apparently,
This is Cara's life 24/7.
God, I am.
To be fair, I'm dealing with Gravlock usually, and that's its own can of worms.
We just need to sit down one night and just have tea around the fire, and we can just talk about these things. You know, we're a family. We can tell each other things.
As you say that, Sage holds up a teacup. Somehow he can hear you from all the way across this thing, and he waves it like this.
All right, guys. I guess we're not getting in this thing super stealthily, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just
We're gonna tie it down to something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoever's gonna tie it down, roll me a survival roll. I'll let somebody assist and give that person advantage.
I'll give the help action. I will not be the one to do it.
Okay.
+5 to survival. Do you want me to do it?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll help Cara secure the anchor.
Please.
Oh, well, 14.
That's still good.
That's better than the 3.
Yeah. All right. As long as y'all trust Sage's side, go ahead and climb across.
Yeah, we don't.
The way you said that.
I just need athletics rolls from everybody as they go across.
Okay.
Whichever two are in the middle, they get the help action. The person in the front has disadvantage, and the person in the back is the one giving the help action.
I have a +3 to athletics, so if y'all want me to go first, I can do that.
Yep.
So I'll go first.
Same.
What's your athletics roll there, Birdie Bird?
-1, too.
All right, so somebody's got to go flat, and the other two get the help action.
I'll go flat.
All right.
Oh, y'all. All right, disadvantage. Let's see. Come on, dice. Okay. All right, so with the disadvantage, I still got a 13.
Let's go. Okay, the next person in line, please, with advantage to your roll. Roll.
That's a nat 20.
All right. Wilbur's just fine. That makes it now Peppa's roll.
And you said we have advantage?
You have advantage, Peppa, yes.
Okay, let me roll athletics again. Let's go with the 18.
Okay. And Cara, as a flat check, what's yours?
Where did it go? I rolled a...
It was right before mine.
Yeah, you have an 18.
You got an 18.
Yeah.
Very good. So you all masterfully climb across this rope, and you get over to where you have to go up. And as Shallot climbs in backwards, the next hands that come over are Wilbur's. And as you're helping Wilbur in, you turn to look, and there's just like 50 or so ogres sitting in pews. All looking up forward at this large, like dwarven monolith looking thing. And all of the ogres seem to be completely ignoring. This is like if you were to break into like a Buddhist temple and having all of them like doing their thing where they're trying to they're all like meditating. All of these ogres are just silently ignoring the fact that you just ripped through this glass window. And Sage looks at you and goes, "Shh, we're stealthing."
Yes.
We just went from like 2 yetis to fucking 50 fucking ogres.
Sage, after we finish this mission, which good job by the way, we're gonna have to have a little chat on what stealth and reconnaissance means.
I've done so well so far.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, no one's found us yet, and Gravlock makes it sound like stealth is way more work than it is. If this is what stealth looks like, I don't know why Gravlock complains.
No, it's so good. He leans over to one of the ogres and goes and taps him and goes, "Hey, where's the king?" And the ogre kind of like looks up at him and shakes his head and goes, "Where you come from?" And he goes, "Oh no, I'm from outside. Where's the king? I'm supposed to talk to him." And the ogre turns and points backwards and goes, "Up the stairs." "Okay, thank you." And he pats him on the back, and the ogre goes back to meditating.
Okay. All right.
As Cara comes through the window, she casts Pass Without a Trace immediately.
I feel like Kirby would have gasped, like.
Sage goes, "Reconnaissance."
I don't know how Paprika dealt with all of this. This is a lot.
This is true.
This is how he felt. I cast Pass Without a Trace.
Oh my god.
And then Sage turns and goes, "Okay, so stairs is where the king is." You all look at the stairs, and there are puddles of blood and barbecue sauce and gravy and food and little bones that all lead up the stairs. And every once in a while there's like a half-eaten goblin on one of the stairs that's still there, kind of like twitching. And they wrap upwards, and there's a dim light coming from the staircase, and almost like a fog wall in front of that as steam rises from the floors. And Sage looks at you all and goes, you all confront the king and I find out where Haddock is?
I think didn't we hear the ogre tell Haddock to go to the king?
Sage looks at you with big eyes. Oh, you know where he is?
Maybe.
He licks his eye.
Why don't you come with us, and if he's not there, then you can go find him.
Okay.
I like that idea better.
Okay, I will follow and make sure you all are safe. And he steps backwards into the shadows and...
Oh my god.
Nowhere to be found.
Oh.
Actually, if you want to roll perception to see if you see him, you can. But
Yes.
he's pretty invisible. Go ahead.
God help me. I need something. 13.
It looked like he went left.
So, and she's gonna look at towards Charlotte. Are we just gonna like walk up the stairs? I mean, if that's okay. I mean, if that's what you want to do.
Actually, what I do need from everybody is a group stealth check.
Don't forget to add 10 to your roll.
Yeah.
I was about to say, we got passed without trace, right?
Yep, add a plus 10 to your roll, please.
29.
wait. We were supposed to be rolling on stealth. Hold on.
Me too. 29.
15.
That is a 16.
Okay. Does that make it a collective 18-ish?
So glad you cast that.
No, it's a collective 19.3. So we'll say 19. Cool. This group of goblins comes down the stairs. You guys are not in front of the stairs. You guys are standing where you are this whole time. And they're like, and one of them was like, yeah, no, I gotta get more. And if we can get some more from the sergeant, then, I mean, I know he dropped it earlier, but there's no reason to yell. My God. And the one guy's like, I mean, he took my arm off. And there's literally one of the goblins is missing its right arm. And they're just all talking as they go. And the one dude has a big chunk taken out of his nose. And he's like, they're all crazy. I don't see why this has to be. The boss just told us to do the thing. I don't know. And I know we're packing up and all. And as they kind of like are leaving the area, one of the ogres looks up and goes, we're praying, and smacks the goblin. And the goblin just flies against the wall, and goblin's like hits the wall next to you guys, almost looks straight at you, and right as he's about to look at you, his whole body just is consumed in shadow as Sage snaps his neck.
Thank you.
Yep. And all the goblins the rest of the goblins are still walking. And then the little goblin just falls out of the shadows. And then Sage looks over and is like right next to Cara, and he goes, "You're welcome." And he's like right there, his tongue touches her ear. And then he just kind of moves backwards into the shadow.
Hey.
Okay, that's nice.
Let's stealthily move up the stairs, I guess. Because I guess we did say that he might be this way, right? Pepper? Haddock? Maybe?
Pepper's looking at the ground. She's not looking anywhere near the creature that just landed on the wall. She's like, deep breaths. We're taking deep breaths.
It's gonna be...
With the bird, approach the steps.
We're gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine.
The stairs are long. They swivel as you. Some of the rocks are slippery. You don't know with what. Some of them are sticky. You don't know with what.
It's all bark.
It all smells of different spices that have mixed together wrong, so it's like licorice in the air. And you push through this like steam wall of just hot breath almost, and you get to the top of the stairs and you can hear Haddock's voice talking to the king and other sloppy, very like people eating with their mouth open sounds very loudly. And you turn the corner and there are 4 large ogres at table. The king up in the front, who I will describe to you next time when we start up the next episode. It's a pleasure being here. I'll see y'all for episode 6. Bye, everyone.
Bye.